I'm sorry to all the Bailey Zappi fans, but it turns out Mac Jones is still the guy for the Patriots. It made no sense that Bailey Zappi would be the guy, but some of you still believed after, Mac had his temper tantrum, and Bailey Zappi did have his moments, but basically, he didn't just throw away any game, so that's why I'm sure some of you were like, oh my god, this guy's interesting, this guy's cool, he could be the next Patriots quarterback. It didn't really make any sense. Did he look good? Yeah. Did he look like a starting quarterback? Not really. Was it because the Patriots offense got simplified and Mac Jones is dealing with 10 plays of the offense? Probably. But it turns out, according to MassLive, I'll bring up the quote here. So, MassLive.com on the latest, on the QB competition said, there never appeared to be a true quarterback competition this spring. Jones took the majority of the quarterback reps in every drill. He was constantly ahead of backup Bailey Zappi. Jones also earned more reps and clearly looked like the best quarterback this spring. Anyone shocked at all? When Mac Jones, in his rookie year, had competent coaching, a competent offensive coordinator, he was a above average quarterback. I believe he was ranked number 15th. He had some higher stats than Tom Brady, Matt Stafford, and Patrick Mahomes. You've heard me say this before. So is anyone shocked? Then you go into next year. I've been through this so many times, but some people still don't understand. You go into next year where the offense was in pieces. The players knew that they was getting screwed around. You had Joe Judge, a special teams coach and a failure as a head coach, and Matt Patricia, who got hated by the players when he was on the Lions, and a mainly defensive guy, an entirely defensive guy. He was your offensive play caller and your quarterback coach? To me, that made no sense. And we saw it in training camp. We saw reports about how the offense was stagnant, would have been sacks because you can't actually sack the quarterback in training camp. Slow offense, stopped at the line, running game's terrible, passing game's terrible. And all of a sudden, people are surprised Mac Jones had a terrible year. I wasn't. I was a little bit hopeful that a miracle could happen, but that just wasn't the case. We look at all the OTA stats and everything on 11-on-11 and 7-on-7s. Mac Jones has been nearly perfect. You know why? He's a competent coach. That's what makes the most sense. Now people say, oh yeah, it's the coach's playbook. Guess what? If a coach screws you over, yeah, you're probably going to play pretty poorly unless you're a one of one, unless you're a top 3 player like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Tom Brady, who could deal with potentially poor coaching, although Brady never had poor coaching. You could deal with some pieces being screwed up on your offense and still getting through it. But if you're a second-year player in the NFL, which is much harder than college, and you're set up to fail, and you're in one of the slowest offenses in the NFL, and you have a defensive guy who drew up reportedly 10 passing plays for the entire season, yeah, that makes a lot of sense how you would fail. Now you have a competent coach in Bill O'Brien. The offense looks great. Mac Jones reportedly is being called a leader, and people are excited to play with him. And now DeAndre Hopkins might get there. It just seems like this is perfect. This makes the most sense. Bailey Zappi was never going to be the Patriots starting quarterback. Was he efficient in the time he played? Yeah. But Matt Castle was too back in 2008 when Brady got hurt. It was still Brady's team. Now, Brady obviously had won multiple Super Bowls, but it's sort of the same case where he said, okay, our quarterback played really well when he had a competent team. Now we bring him in. He gets screwed over. He gets actually hurt as well. You bring in Bailey Zappi, he performs well. And then Mac Jones comes in and looks terrible because his offense is terrible. He was set up to fail. The players were always behind him. The coaches had a little bit of an issue because he was whining about how bad the play calling was. I completely agree with that. Because if no one is going to take accountability for how bad the offense was, someone's got to. Bill Belichick wasn't, Matt Patricia wasn't, Joe Judge wasn't. It had to have been Mac Jones. And the players behind closed doors, and there have been reports saying that the players knew that they were getting screwed over and they had Mac Jones's back. Kendrick Bourne has come out and said the offense didn't look great and the offense was terrible. I believe David Andrews even said that the offense wasn't great. It was set up to fail. So no one should be surprised. Bailey Zappi, it didn't really make any sense. Did I enjoy watching him play pretty well? Yeah, I did. It was very, very enjoyable. He completed 70% of his throws, had nearly 800 yards in 4 games, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. It was fun to watch. But the truth of the matter is Mac Jones is the better quarterback. You just can't set him up to fail. And when you set him up to fail and he's hurt, you decrease the complexity of the offense for Bailey Zappi, so the offense is super simplistic. Because that's what it was. The play calling between Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi was very, very different. Bailey Zappi was playing more so on on Mac Jones' rookie year playbook, and Mac Jones was supposed to be on this Matt Patricia playbook. It made no sense. So I'm not surprised in the least. Mac Jones is the Patriots QB1 most likely. He's tearing it up in OTAs and minicamp. So we should probably see Mac Jones starting there week 1. I'm not surprised in the least. None of you should be. And if you are, we just got to look at the situation Mac Jones was in. He looks great. It's really unfortunate now that the AFC East is arguably the toughest division in football now. Because every team in the AFC East was adding pieces, adding weapons, and Bill Belichick was adding weapons just on the defensive side. Now, we could add D-Hop, and I think for a Patriots team that doesn't have a superstar quarterback, I think D-Hop gives you about a win to a win and a half. He may give you a half win on a great team, but because the Patriots need a true wide receiver 1, in a game maybe against the Saints or against the Commanders or against the Giants or the Colts, he may be able to just take over the game and he'll give you that win. Because the Patriots don't have speed, they don't really have size, they don't have a lot of talent. Truthfully, they're slow. They're not a great wide receiving team. I don't have the draft picks in front of me, but Belichick has been horrible at drafting wide receivers since about 2010. So for a decade and more, Bill Belichick really hasn't hit on a wide receiver. Now, to get D-Hop, could be interesting. Tyquan Thornton is supposed to have a great year next year. We will see, because guess what? The offensive line still could be shaky. It still could be shaky. And if you even get D-Hop, can Mac Jones at least throw it to him or hold in the pocket, let D-Hop get open down deep, throw it to him, hopefully probably hit him, because I think Mac Jones actually has a pretty good deep ball. And can that hold up? Can the offensive line hold up for that amount of time? I'm not sure. But Mac Jones, clear QB1. I'm not surprised in the least. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.